you ever get that feeling that some things that have been staples in your life, when you look at them through analytical lens, they don't make sense at all? This is how I've been feeling about Minecraft lately. A game filled with zombies, creepers, and dragons. Why would it have paintings out of all things? And since the very beginnings, mind to say. With introducing a bunch of new ones in a recent update, I don't think it is something that is just disregarded, but a tool the developers are using to tell a story. So I went after that, and from there I found out that the Minecraft paintings can be categorized under one of three general themes. First are the OG paintings, paintings that didn't have any direct inspiration and were just made to represent elements of the Minecraft world. These aren't a lot, being only 5: meditative, weather, unpacked, low mist, and creeper. Meditative is a tribute to the original Minecraft flower that unfortunately isn't with us anymore, the rose. I want to tell you that back in my day, that flower was the only thing me and the boys used to decorate our homes. But now, we have fucking poppies. Away from the nostalgia, the next one in line is weather, and the weather in Minecraft is the event. As I'm a game theory Minecraft timeline believer, and due to the conquest of evidence that covers the Minecraft world from desks, chisel rocks, and this painting, the weather was a really big part of the Minecraft ancient civilization's history and advancing. I like to mirror it to the death painting that filled the real art world. It's our fear of not leaving a mark on the world that motivates us, and that motivation is only there because we know that death is all around. The same thing that the Minecraft ancient civilization found out when they tried to conquer it. But as a sane living creature in this current times, I'll take my bundle and leave civilization going back to nature. And for that, you will find awaiting you the cover to most of your old Java worlds. Something that this generation grew up attached to. And I remember the era of the race that was set to find that exact seed that this picture was taken from. And as a memorial to that legendary BNG, we got unpacked. And on the note of nature, the next painting is Low Mist. And what is showing is a view of the mountain from downside using a spectator mode, especially the edges of the blocks that identifies using that mode. A functionality to see what is under without a need of explosions. Speaking of explosion though, the creeper is the most iconic mob of all of Minecraft, and I don't think the current Minecraft team, depending on their decision, would keep the creeper if it wasn't so popular or add it if it wasn't in the first place. But whatever, the painting creeper is a mimic of the painting seaside, but replacing the flower with a creeper head, and its turn on your window is a very strong statement. Other games tributes isn't something that is unfamiliar in the video games industry. Most recent that comes to my mind is the Meowmere from Terraria appearing at Stardew Valley's 1.6 update. And Minecraft isn't new to this game, as she has been paying tributes to multiple games through the past 15 years that it existed, mainly through two different ways. First is the splash text that appears at the main game menu, which one of them refers to Terraria as well. Look at you Terraria having bit! The other being this list of 10 paintings. Two named the Aztecs, target successfully bombed, which is badass name by the way. The stage is set, Graham and Boss, Mortal Coil, Kong, Fighters, and Pointer. The first three are references to maps in the game Counter-Strike. The maps being Aztec and the infamous Dust 2. CS is a game that since the beginning of the new millennia until now is a top game, and in my opinion, it's a staple that Minecraft had to pay tribute to.
Yes, I'm playing CSGO, I'm very Russian.
The three right after makes the King Quest era. Two of them are directly built around the protagonist of King's Quest 1, King Graham, which are End Boss and a portrait of him named of course Graham. But while the latter has been in the game for a long time, the first one is recently added in the 1.21 update. While it on itself is depicting King Graham in a whole fighting, I can't deny the eerie similarities with the Hall of Judgment from Undertale. And there is a skeleton waiting to face you with a hand holding it on the other door. With the checker floor and it looking like a beautiful day outside, you my dear might be having a bad time. But yeah, the OG painting is from 2006, so it's probably just a coincidence all the other ways around. Script out of the window. One more painting that has Graham featured in it is the painting The Stage Set. While it is not a set from his own games, but from the game Space Quest 1, she can realize that the spider in the game has been replaced with a Minecraft spider instead, with Graham appearing twice, giving a sense of movement in the painting, and settling to sleep on the rock. And that would be Minecraft's gesture to Sierra, the developer of both series, which was known for its playful and self-referential humor. They often included Easter eggs and cameos from their other games. Characters and items from one game would occasionally appear in another. This created a shared universe feeling, where fans of one series could spot familiar faces and laugh at the in-jokes. And Minecraft including characters like King Graham in Space Quest scenarios is a nod to the dedicated fan base and a cameo for a great game developer. The next ones are more straightforward. Motorcoil is a portrait of Bruno Martinez of the game Grim Fandango, an adventure game from the late 90s that takes a place in the land of the dead with a 50s touch and elements of the Aztec afterlife. Kong, a portrait of the first game that introduced Mario, the character that did introduce the West into video games. Fighters, which in the wiki states these characters are from the 80s, the way of the exploding fist, but because I didn't know the game, I thought it was just a commentary on karate or fighting games in general. And the last one is Pointer, which the wiki indicates that it is of the main character of international karate in a fighting stance touching a large hand. The wiki does answer to the creation of Adam, but I believe that it is a reference to the hand in the Super Smash Bros. With the stand it is in and everything. Third category would be the real-life paintings, and this one itself divides into two main categories: real-life paintings and paintings by the OG creator Christopher. Starting with the real-world paintings, these are 10 in total. Wanderer, Pierre Ride, Bonjour Monsieur Coppet, Humble, Cotan, Owl Lemons, Backyard, Big Scene, Orb, Bond, and Baruch. Wanderer is built on the infamous Wanderer above Sea Fog painting. It doesn't resemble anything more than that. Fairy Ride is starring a character that not a lot of people mention when they're talking about Minecraft's characters cast, which is Noor riding their horse. Did you know that with Noor, Steve, and Alex, there also are Ari, Eve, Makina, Sunny, Zuri, and Kai, which totals into 9. I want you now to go to the comment section and tell me which of these are your favorite. And on your way up, why don't you press the glowy subscribe button? Anyway, this painting is set as an imitation of the Remington the Cowboy by Frederick Remington. Next one is Bonjour Monsieur Corbet, but this painting is just half of the original painting under the same name, showing Monsieur Corbet bonjouring himself instead of the two other guys bonjouring him in the original one. Humble, which is a Minecraftation of Grant Wood's American Gothic. Cotan, named after the painter that made the painting this one was based on. Owl Lemons is just a painting of an owl with some lemons with the background of the painting an old man and his grandson. And looking at what the owls represent and what the lemons represent, we can comfortably say that the owl should be the grandfather and the lemons should be the grandson, a blend of wisdom and vitality, if you might say. The same thing the OG painting is thoughting after. Backyard is a brick archway with two women sitting in the yard. The scenery is based on the painting The Courtyard of a House in Delft by Pieter de Hooch. The figures on the right are from Jackie Louis David's Oath of the Horatii. Big Scene. I always thought of Big Scene as a picture of a girl that is holding a drawing of a pig that she just finished. But it comes to be that it is of a man that is holding just RGB colors, which is very disappointing. And before the big two, we have one more. Orb. In Orb, you find an orb of light in the middle of the landscape at night, which is apparently based on the painting St. Francis in Ecstasy by Giovanni Bellini. Now the ones remain are the big two, and I call them the big two because they are not just covering one painting, rather they are covering a motif, a full genre of art. First of the two is Bond, depicting the infamous maiden and death motif, a famous one from the Renaissance, basically a duality of life and death, and in an apocalyptic world like Minecraft's, both are looking you in the eye, as if asking you, will you live today or will death claim you? It's a contradiction, a conversation in the heart of every living being. And while it is not inevitable as in the real world, but death in Minecraft is always all around. Second of the two is Baroque, which is not talking about just one painting, but about the Baroque movement that had tons and tons of masterpieces with its darker tones and focus on the light source to show the subject's importance. And one of the artists that belong to this school is Caravaggio, a guy that has a lot of controversy around his name, but his art is undebatably majestic. It happens that we made a video earlier about him, so check it out. And with these 10 out of the way, we have 20 paintings remaining. These 20 came originally from Christopher's creativity. And these are Abab mit Pepperoni, Baradi Wasteland, The Pool, Sunset Dance, Seaside, Match, Bust, The Void, Skull and Roses, Bouquet, Cave Bird, Fern, Tides, Sunflower, Changing, Finding, Passage, and Skull on Fire. And I believe that the inspiration for all these beautiful works comes from his upbringing. Zeta Strand has mentioned that he fell in love with art at an early age and spent much of his time drawing in museums as a child. This early exposure to art has clearly shaped his creative vision. All the original works for these Minecraft paintings were built like a collage with different 3D and 2D parts to create a feeling or recreate some of the messages the classical counterparts were trying to deliver. Coming to an end, the remaining are 4 paintings, and I'll be quoting all your favorite YouTubers saying these are the secret 4 paintings that quote the Avatar Last Airbender: fire, water, earth, and air. But however you look at it, Minecraft is a game that with each update is trying to show us and give us more and more of the beauty of the world, but also do have paintings. Do not transcend the message of the world around you, but the human beauty and emotion in a way like no other.